Today, we're looking at the fourth movement of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony. This movement is technically difficult, so a slow, diligent practice is a must. At the same time, we might get overexcited, therefore not being able to play well in a performance due to a stiff right hand. Practice staying relaxed, just as you will do in a performance. Let us begin. The beginning is written mezzo forte, so start with a comfortable, relaxed volume. The second beat of measure 2 is a rest, but the phrase continues to that note. So you should always pretend like you're playing that note to make the phrase continuous. From measure 5, it is written forte, but think more of broader bow strokes rather than pressure. The same goes for measure 13 when it is written fortissimo. The pizzicatos beginning in measure 6, it is easy to rush while making the crescendo. Remember to restrain yourself and keep a steady tempo. The allegro from measure 58 is written half note equals to 120, which is slower than most recordings. I believe it is possible to play the triads non-divisi, but please check with your section leader whether you should divide or not. The dynamics are written very meticulously in this passage, like measure 58 is single forte, measure 62 fortissimo, measure 70 single forte again, and so on. I suggest using relaxed bow strokes in a single forte passage, still relaxed but broader strokes in fortissimo, and relaxed but near the frog in measure 78. That way, your right hand will not get tired. For measure 128, we play the triplets as an accompaniment to the melody in the winds, and we have to be careful not to play fast that it sounds like 2 eighths. To prevent that from happening, anticipate the first note and play it a little earlier, and the second note a little later. From measure 148, you are playing the melody with the firsts, so always play a little louder for a good balance. You should also remember to play very legato, even though the accompaniment part is very rhythmic and marcato. Also, please pay attention to the dynamics as they are written very meticulously. As a counter melody to the brass, measures 172 and 173 require short eighth notes, and the scales beginning in measure 174 must be played with the utmost legato. A smooth and constant contact is needed in the legato passages, so practice using different bow pressure in different parts of the bow. The half notes from measure 196 may be asked to play detached, but we are still in legato, so careful not to get too detached. The quarter notes in measure 234 are the accompaniment part and also written marcatissimo, so playing very short is okay. This is another passage you would have an easier time playing near the frog. From measure 266, the music becomes less complicated, but the tempo still remains fast. Try not to gradually slow down on long notes, and keep the inner pulse fast. For measure 340, it is mostly identical to measure 98, apart from the dotted rhythm in measure 358. This rhythm is played long and sustained, so careful not to play it too short. The passage from measure 421 may seem difficult at first, but with a good fingering and slow practice, it is not so hard to overcome. First, practice slowly. When you feel comfortable, increase speed and play first notes plus the next one. If you feel comfortable with this, increase the length, like 1 bar plus the next note, or 2 bars plus the next note. One important thing is to keep good and consistent contact of your bow so that each note sounds even. The tempo increases from measure 436, and it is so strenuous to play the eighth notes starting measure 444 in 3 fortes, but stay near the frog and try not to overwork them. The triplets from measure 452 can be difficult, but try practicing them slowly so you understand how they relate to the beats. Then, increase the tempo when you feel comfortable. The quadruple chords in measure 456 must be played fast, so practice rolling your bow fast from the bottom string to the upper string. For measure 474, you want to stay relaxed because you will have busy, tiring notes couple lines down. So use slow bow and good legato. The triplets in measure 481 especially are easy to use a lot of power without noticing, so staying relaxed is the key. The small notes from measure 489 can be exhausting, so find the ideal place in your bow to produce maximum volume with minimum energy. I would start in the middle of the bow, maybe a little closer to the frog, and a little closer to the bridge. The last presto may be the most difficult passage technically in the whole symphony. Be careful the eighth notes do not become imprecise from measure 504. Keep them short, close to the following quarter notes, so maybe almost like 16th notes. From measure 522, you want as few shifts as possible. Practicing slowly is helpful, but practicing fast, but one measure at a time, is also a good way to practice. In the busy passage from measure 537, be careful not to play the quarter note too short. It may be nearly impossible to play the actual value at a fast tempo, but being aware that it should be long will make a difference. The tempo drops in measure 546 and the legato melody returns in the brass. So let us match that by playing the quarter notes not too short. The entire string section plays the arpeggio passage from measure 554. So when you finish playing in measure 557, try to connect the melody line by handing it to the violas and celli and the other way around in measure 559. I hope you enjoyed my video of the fourth movement of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony. This movement may be the most technically challenging, but it's not impossible with slow practice. Most importantly, you need to play loudly and energetically using minimal force. Let's not rely on power, but find the perfect spot and speed on your bow for the perfect sound. Please leave comments below, and if you have any requests to what pieces you would like me to do in the future, I will try to meet as many requests as I can. That's all for today. Happy music making and see you again.